This woman is seriously twisted. That's what the title says, but let's find out.
On March 13th, 2009, on the outskirts of the city of Irkutsk, Russia, a group of homeless people were rummaging through bins hoping to find something valuable when they made a grisly discovery. They found a nylon bag. It was heavy, and they hoped to find something of value inside. They were intrigued, but when they opened it, they were horrified. They discovered two severed human legs, distinctly female due to their slender appearance and red-painted toenails. Quickly, an investigation began, and even though this case had a grisly start, no one was expecting the depravity that...
Bro, that's awful. Can you imagine you just walking down the street? I know they were like looking through the bins, but imagine you just walking through the street and you see a bag and there's just two legs hanging out of it, bro. Fuck me. I'd never leave my house again. Fuck all that, bro.
Would soon be uncovered. This case is as sad as it is brutal, and I always find it most disturbing when someone can commit such crimes, having previously had no back...
Bro, is it just me or does he look like... Bro, if we was watching a documentary about the Middle Ages, yeah, and there was a painting of some dude from the Middle Ages and it was him, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't even know how to explain what I'm saying, bro. But he looks like he's from the Middle Ages, like medieval times or some shit. I might just be fucking tripping, bro, but fuck, he looks...
in such atrocities. But before we
I can imagine him wearing like them old school clothes and just be like, bro, he looks like he was there.
Find this video fascinating, then please drop it a like and leave me a comment below. And if you are new here, then please hit the subscribe button and consider following me on Instagram. It all really helps. Thank you. This video is created solely for educational and documentary purposes. It does not endorse or condone the criminal actions described within. To truly understand how these tragic events unfolded, we must go back to the beginning. Olesya Mostovshikova was born in May 1982 in the city of Irkutsk, Russia. Her biological father had already left the family before she was even born. Her mother eventually met a new man, a man who would become the only father figure Olesya ever knew. But tragedy soon came. When Olesya was still very young, her mother passed away. From that moment on, she was raised solely by her stepfather. She would later say, "I didn't have a father. My stepfather raised me and supported me. I always considered him my father." Just as she began adulthood, fate dealt her another cruel blow. At the age of 16, her stepfather died suddenly, leaving her completely alone in the world. Olesya would come to see that moment as a turning point in her life. She believed that if he had lived, everything might have turned out differently. No agency stepped in, and no one offered to help. Olesya was alone. By 18, she had married, and at 20, she had a husband, and together they had bought a home. And not long after, she became...
I'm so confused. He said at 18 she got married and at 20 she had a husband. The fuck? Or did I just hear that completely wrong?
And no one offered to help. Olesya was alone. By 18, she had married, and at 20, she had a husband, and together they had bought...
What does that mean? Bro, what are you on about? I don't understand how you can fuck that up as well. Like, I'm sorry for being a dick, but fuck. Like, you're saying it, bro. Like, are you not listening to what you're saying? Or am I fucking dumb? Am I being really stupid and I'm not understanding something? She got married at 18 and had a husband at 20. She got married at 18 and had a husband at 20. What the fuck does that mean, brother?
No agency stepped in, and no one offered to help. Olesya was alone. By 18, she had married, and at 20, she had a husband, and together they had bought a home, and not long after, she became pregnant. It seemed, for a brief moment,
At 20, she was pregnant, and at 25, she had her first child. It's like, bro, what is going on, brother? What is going on? I'm sorry, I shouldn't even be taking the piss, bro, because it's a good fucking video, but I just can't unhear that, bro.
that Alessia had found some sense of stability, a chance to build her own family, something she had always longed for. But at 7 months pregnant, tragedy struck once again. Her husband ended everything in the barn behind their house. The shock shattered her world. Her hopes for a future of a family was in ruins. Reflecting on that moment, Alessia would later say, "I don't know what came into his mind. Anyway, I leave the house and he's there in my shed. Everything turned upside down for me. And then, of course, friends, girlfriends, as always. And it all started. Calm down, have a drink, you'll feel better," they said. It was after this heartbreaking event that drink began to consume her life, a numbing escape from the pain that never seemed to end. Alessia would...
So I'm guessing that she turns out to be the reason why there was legs in that bag in the alleyway, yeah? So I think it's safe to say that she ends up being a murderer. So why do we believe her when she says that her husband committed suicide? Like, maybe that was her, bro. Maybe that was her.
Drink heavily most days, often going on binges for weeks at a time, all the while raising her son. But she did hold down a job. She worked as a sales assistant at an Asian marketplace, but she didn't earn a lot of money, and she would receive benefits for her son. But sadly, most of the money that came into the household was spent on drink. Her home, which should have been perfect for family life, became a gathering place for chaos, frequent drinking, partying, and a steady stream of bad influences.
Does investing feel complicated? With XTB, you can learn step by step. This is your place.
Drinking, partying, and a steady stream of bad influences. By March 2009, Alessia was 26 years old. Ilya was just 6. On March 5th, Alessia was in the middle of a week-long drinking binge with 2 of her friends, Yulia Seigler and Tatiana.
Bro, a week-long binge is kind of fucking crazy, bro. A week long. Are they sleeping, bro? Cause if you don't sleep for a week, even that on its own will fuck you up, like. That's crazy.
Romanchuk. She hadn't shown up for work at all that week. That evening, Yulia eventually went to lie down in the bedroom after a long drinking session, leaving Alessia and Tatiana alone in the living room, with little Ilya playing nearby. An argument broke out. Harsh words were exchanged. Tatiana accused Alessia of being a bad mother. But that's when something inside Alessia snapped. How can you tell me how to raise a youth? First, give birth. Experience the situation that I experienced at that moment, and then tell me how to raise my youth and what I should do, she said. Fueled by rage and drink, Alessia knew exactly what she was going to do. She reached for an axe and struck Tatiana, blow after blow to the face, back, and chest. Tatiana collapsed on the floor, bleeding profusely. Her breath...
Bro, what the fuck? This shit is crazy, bro. She don't sound like a murderer to me. I feel like this is what happens, bro, if you stay up for a week on a binge. Don't do week-long binges, people, bro. And fucking... Bro, this whole situation sounds bad, doesn't it? So she's got her little kid there. She's getting smashed for a week. Fucking look, your pal went to go sleep, bro. Go sleep too. Why aren't you resting? Go recharge. Fuck me, this shit would have never happened if you just did a one night binge and went to sleep and then fucking did a next day binge. Like, you ain't gotta stay up for 7 days in a row. That shit's crazy, bro.
Turning into a chilling death rattle. But Alessia wasn't finished. She walked into the kitchen, grabbed a knife and returned, stabbing Tatiana 51 times in the chest until her body went still. What came next was beyond comprehension. Alessia gouged out Tatiana's eyes with her bare fingers, then severed one of her ears and hand. She placed them on the stove and burnt them, and all the while...
Oh, this bitch is evil. Shit. Listen. So, all the shit that he's just said about what happened, I'm guessing we only know this from her. Like, this is obviously one-sided. This is a one-sided perspective, because the other lady got, you know. But, so can we even believe it, bro? Can you even believe the words of a fucking killer like this? Like, not even just a killer, but a fucking psycho killer, bro. Jeez.
Her young son, Ilya, stood watching. This perhaps proving Tatiana's point. When Yulia woke up and came downstairs, she was confronted with a scene straight out of a nightmare. Blood, silence, and her friend brutally murdered on the floor. From this moment, the case...
Brother, imagine that. Imagine that. You're on a bender with two of your pals, yeah? You're like, boys, I can't do this. I've got to go sleep. You guys have been up for a whole fucking week. I can't do that. I need a rest. You go upstairs. You have a little rest. You're chilling. Finally, fall asleep. You wake up like, what, 6, 7 hours later. You come downstairs. You're like, yo, Jeff. The fuck? Why is Henry in pieces on the floor? Bro, you'd be fucked, mate. Imagine that, bro. What are you even doing in that situation? It depends where the person is, right? Because if you see that shit and you can't see the person, I'm running out of the house as fast as I can and getting away from there, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be victim number 2. But fucking, what if you get to the bottom of the stairs and the fucking murderer person is there waiting for you? Then what do you do? Like, how do you solve this without becoming victim number 2? I have no idea. What a crazy... And she would have just woken up. So you know when you've just woken up, yeah? She's hungover as well. She's just woke up, she's hungover, and she's not... Her brain's just not working properly yet because she's probably still half asleep, still a little bit drunk, and hungover. Oh, bro. Like, what do you do? What happened, bro? We don't even know what happened. Maybe she became victim number 2. Let's fucking find out. Hopefully not. Hopefully no one else died. Let's see.
Has conflicting accounts. Yulia would later claim that Alessia threatened her and said, help me get rid of the body or you'll be next. Alessia, however, has a different account. She says she simply asked for help and Yulia agreed. Whichever version is true.
I think both. I can see both being true. I think that the killer lady, this killer lady, I think that she's right. She probably did just ask for help. And I think that this lady was like, bro, if a fucking murderer has you backed in a house and asks you to do something, what does Dennis say in It's Always Sunny? It's the implication. They don't need to fucking threaten you, bro. It's the implication. If you don't do what they're fucking gonna say, they might kill you too. So I think they were both right. She felt like she was threatened, and she felt like she didn't threaten her. But I'm telling you right now, if this lady was like, nah, fuck you, you crazy bitch, what do you think the murderer would have done? So the implication was there, bro. So they're both probably right. Let's see what happens. Do you reckon the lady on the left is going to get in trouble? Oh, do you reckon she's going to be an accomplice? Bro, I don't know what to do in that situation. Listen, I would jump out a window or something and run. Let's fucking find out, bro.
Result was the same. Together, they dragged Tatiana's mutilated body to the barn and then continued drinking as if nothing had happened. The next day, paranoia set in. What if someone walked into the barn? They thought. So they moved the body back into the house and put it in the basement.
Oh yeah, bro. At this point, this bitch is an accomplice. Like, what? You put the body in the fucking shed and you was like, yo, bitch, let's go fucking drink for a whole day. Yeah, you're an accomplice, bitch. You should have snuck off as soon as you could and fucking gone to the police and been like, yo, this crazy bitch just fucking killed my friend. But nah, you didn't. You chilled with her. You chilled with her, bro, and you got fucking smashed again. What the fuck?
It was later, when they were hungry.
I don't know if smashed means anything different in any other places, bro, but in the UK it just means fucking fucked, basically. It means like drunk or whatever. Yeah.
And realizing there was little food in the house, that things turned even more deplorable.
No.
Again, there are conflicts.
They're not gonna cook her, are they? No, I don't think that I can't see that happening. I don't see that happening, but we'll find out.
Accounts here. Alessia insisted that it was Yulia who first brought up the idea. All this talk about there's nothing to eat, let's fry it, she claims Yulia said. But Yulia vehemently denies this. She claims that she was forced to take part in the consuming of her friend, or she would be next. Alessia then said, we decided to cut off a piece of meat from the leg. Then we cut off the pubis, which was left lying in the basement, and the meat was brought to the kitchen, cooked and eaten. It didn't stop there. They also carved flesh from Tatiana's cheeks and other parts of her body, including her...
I'm so confused, bro. How did two normal people just suddenly fucking go so off the rails, bro? Like, they didn't just become murderers, but then they became cannibals. I don't... Like, how do you go that off the rails? And, bro, listen, 7 days with no sleep, that'll fuck you up, bro. Listen, get your sleep in, boys. Don't ever fucking deprive yourselves of sleep, because you'll go crazy, bro. I don't think it's even 7 days. Like, I think you can go crazy after, like, 2-3 days of no sleep. Fucking hell, man. These bitches are crazy, bro. Fuck. And I don't believe her friend that keeps saying, oh, I didn't have a choice. Bitch, it was your idea. Sounds like.
Arms and legs. Over the course of a week, the three of them, Alessia, Yulia, and even Ilya, consumed the remains of Tatiana. As the body began to decompose, the urgency to dispose of it became clear. Alessia knew they couldn't simply dump the remains, as it would only be a matter of time before they were discovered. They initially tried to bury the body in the backyard.
Bro, he just said that they were eating her for a week. And they fed the kid, bro. What the fuck? Look these bitches up forever, bro. What the fuck?
But it was freezing outside, and the earth was frozen, making it very hard to dig. That's when the decision was made. Together, Alessia and Yulia began dismembering Tatiana's body. They cut off her legs and placed them in a nylon bag, and during the night, they carried the bag a few streets away and put them in a large bin. But the next day,
Jesus, that's a good point.
put them in a large bin. But the next day, paranoia set in. On March 13th, 2009, Alessia decided they needed to move the rest of the remains. The backyard would have to do, no matter how hard the ground. That morning, a group of homeless people, rummaging through bins looking for anything of value, made a gruesome discovery: the severed legs. An investigation was quickly launched. Police began questioning residents in roughly 50 nearby homes, but no leads emerged. Authorities didn't even know who the legs belonged to. But not long after, the authorities got the break they needed. Officer Petter Inkarev, when searching a little further, he arrived at the rear entrance of 55 Liberation Street, and through a narrow gap in the gate, he saw two women digging. A strange sight, because nobody done guard.
No way this is how they got caught. What? They got caught red-handed, bro. Shit like that is crazy. What the fuck? Bro, this case is actually fucked. What the fuck? This is fucking with my head a little bit. I can't lie, this is fucking with my head.
At this time of year, when asked what they were doing, Olesia
No
claimed that they
way.
were fertilizing
Why is her face blurred, bro? Did she get away with it? There's no way this bitch got away with it.
the soil with manure, but the officer noticed that there was no manure in sight. Suspicious, he began to investigate further, and he entered the garden. On the porch, he noticed a pool of dried blood. When questioned, Olesia claimed she had killed a dog and eaten it to treat tuberculosis, a practice known in the region, though it's widely condemned. The officer was not convinced. He carried on looking around, and then, round the back of the outside toilet, he found a handbag with what appeared to be parts of a human body inside. Once he seen this, he arrested the two women, and they did not hold up any resistance. Petter then went inside, and he seen dinner plates with the remains of what he believed to be human flesh on them. He was sickened. Then, in the kitchen, there was a package. It seemed odd, as it was just in the middle of the floor. He opened it, and it was Tatiana's beheaded torso. It was missing the legs and one arm, and was full of stab wounds. Quickly, the women, along with Ilya, were taken into custody. Olesia was opened during interrogation. She admitted to killing Tatiana in a fit of rage, but she always claimed it was Yulia's idea to eat the remains. As for Ilya, he was devastated by the whole ordeal. He had witnessed the murder, the dismemberment, and was forced to eat the meals with his mother. At first, he was sent to live with his relatives, but soon was sent to a rehabilitation center for youths, as he was damaged psychologically, and eventually he went to live in an orphanage. So sad. The trauma had left him deeply scarred.
Bro, this kid's gonna be fucked when he's older. He's gonna be a psycho. Oh my god, he's gonna be an absolute psycho. How long ago was this case, bro? He's probably a fucking serial killer right now. It's fucking sad, isn't it? What the fuck?
A psychiatric evaluation deemed Olesia sane enough to stand trial. She was probably on a bender by then, a district officer said. Didn't go to work. Her friend wasn't working either. Apparently, there was not.
I want to know about the friend. Friend seems like a psycho. The friend was the one whose idea it was to eat the fucking body, bro. Like, who even thinks like that? She's fucking psycho, bro. And she went and had a nap. She actually fucking had sleep. Oh my god.
Thing to eat. Most likely, she did this all while heavily intoxicated. At first, Yulia was seen as an accomplice, but she later became a key witness. Authorities believed she only participated out of fear for her life. Olesia was sentenced to 8 years and 7 months in a strict regime colony for murder and the desecration of a corpse. She was also ordered to pay 300,000 rubles in damages to Tatiana's family. Cannibalism itself is not technically a criminal offense in Russia, so she was charged with the crimes leading up to it. During her time in the colony, life was hard to begin with. Those with crimes of cannibalism are targeted by fellow inmates. No one would sit with her, and people would.
Oh my god. The bitch got 8 years, and the other one didn't get any time. What the fuck, Russia? What the fuck? And how is cannibalism not a crime? Did I say that right? It sounded weird when I said it. How is that shit not a crime? Fucking hell. At least the prisoners fucking hand out some justice, it sounds like it.
Whispered about her behind her back, but in time,
What's-
she found her footing.
I can't believe they didn't beat her up, bro.
Alessia began working in the prison's sewing factory and eventually became team leader. She worked 6-hour shifts, 7 days a week, and her earnings were sent to Tatiana's family. You still get distracted by work and don't think about the fact you're in here, Alicia said. You forget about it for a while. Every day in here is the same. She became a devout attendee of the prison church, praying morning and night, seeking forgiveness. Her own family, however, never forgave her. They refused to respond to any of her letters, and she never heard from them again. Despite her crimes, Alessia began planning for life after prison. With only an 8-year, 7-month sentence, she knew she
Oh
would
my
one day
God.
have life after prison.
How, bro? Oh my god, bro. You can get an 8-year sentence for robbery in this country. Like, it'd have to be a pretty big robbery, but it's not unheard of, bro. 8 years for fucking murdering someone, chopping up the body and eating it, and then trying to hide your crime. What the fuck? And by their own viewpoint, she threatened another human to do this shit with her. 8 years is crazy. And the fact that her friend got no time is fucking nuts. I don't understand that. Like, how is that fucking crazy? That's just crazy.
Unlike Tatiana, Alessia said, I want a new life, not like before. I used to not go to the theatre, but now I would go with pleasure. I would ask my son for forgiveness for not being able to be with.
They can't let her near that boy ever again. Like, I don't care how different you are. If you eaten somebody... Oh, bro, listen. She killed someone, chopped up the body, and ate and fed to her kid. All of it in front of her kid. Bro, how does she get an 8-year sentence? That is insane to me.
Him, a deputy at the colony she was incarcerated at, said she is crying because she got a long sentence. The woman hid the crime for 7 days. I believe this was deliberate. There is some kind of animal instinct in her eyes.
It was definitely deliberate. She did cover it up. She's a psycho. It's not a long sentence. Oh, the guard said she's not crying because she feels bad. She's crying because she got a long sentence. You bitch, you didn't even get a long sentence. 8 years is crazy short for fucking the diabolicalness of what she did. I can't believe this is real. Oh my god. No wonder her family don't want to talk to her, bro. Fuck you, like, fuck that bitch.
I have seen such a gleam only a couple of times. These are not the eyes of a killer, but it's better not to meet such a person on the outside. Alessia was released in 2018. She has since changed her surname, sold her home, and left Irkutsk to start over. Reports say she is remarried and has limited contact with Ilya. She said to report.
Nah, dog. Nah. Imagine you marry someone and you find out it's this bitch.
us a few years after her release. You know, I have a different life. I want to forget all this like a bad dream, but everyone reminds me of it.
I was just about to say, like, you shouldn't be allowed to forget about some shit like that if you've done some shit like that. Thank God people are fucking not letting you forget. Yeah, you're fucked. You're fucked.
I have already served my punishment. I have atoned for my sin before the Lord. Get away from me, everyone. It really stuns me that she got 8 years and 7 months for crimes so horrific. She was obviously in a bad place and most likely severely depressed. But Tatiana didn't get a second chance. Thank you for watching. Until next time, stay.
What about the other bitch though? She got 0 days in jail. What the fuck? Mate, that's crazy. Listen, this guy's channel is really good. I think this is the first video I've seen him do, but it's really good. Bizarre. That's sick. That's a good name. Fuck, man. That was a dark video, boys. Listen, leave a like, comment, subscribe, check out his channel. Watch some of his videos, subscribe to him if you want to. Peace.